Alan, thanks for coming by.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Cool. So what are you going to show us today?
Well, we're going to show you a few different styles of rum cocktails, but what I always like to start with is probably the most well-known of all the rum cocktails, which is the daiquiri. And most people think of a daiquiri as a frozen cocktail. I'd like to shy away from that style of frozen drink because you really lose the flavor. But you know, daiquiris can be made with light rum, white rum as it's often called. This is a Cruzan rum from St. Croix in the Virgin Islands. And we'll start with 2 ounces of white rum. And I always like to measure it because that's what the recipe is for. But that way you're sure that it's a well-balanced cocktail. The daiquiri is one of the most simple, quick drinks, but it should be a very tart cocktail, a very refreshing cocktail. We're going to add ½ an ounce of fresh lime juice.
And this is just freshly squeezed from these
Freshly
limes
squeezed from these limes, and it's important that it's fresh because, again, you want that tartness, you want that acidity. 3 ingredients. Rum. You can use light rum, but you can also use aged rum. A little bit of fresh lime juice, and a little bit of simple syrup, which is just sugar and water, essentially. That's it. 3 ingredients. We'll shake that over ice, add a little smile, and you just want to get this good and cold. So you see, it's just a lovely, simple, opaque color. You not only taste all those flavors together, but you do get that little hint of citrus, in this case of the fresh lime, that just brightens all of your sentences. We're going to finish with one of my absolute favorite rum cocktails called the Old Cuban. My little variation involves the Cruzan Single Barrel Estate. It's from St. Croix in the Virgin Islands. We're going to start with a little bit of fresh mint. And it's funny, you know, you see in recipes that call for a specific number of fresh mint leaves. What's most important is that you literally analyze the freshness of your mint, because if a cocktail calls for 8 mint leaves and you feel that the freshness is a little bit deadened, well, add 10 or 12. You really can't go overboard on fresh mint. But we're going to use about 10 to 12 lovely fresh mint leaves. We're going to combine that with an ounce of simple syrup. And this cocktail is a little bit more involved, but ultimately not too complicated in the end. What we're going to do is just gently muddle that in our mixing glass. And we're not going to destroy the mint. We're going to be firm but gentle. Now, to this, we'll add our rum. So the Cruzan Single Barrel, about 1.5 ounces. We're going to add 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Again, this is going to add just about another complex dimension to the finished cocktail. And then most importantly, we need lime juice. And we'll add about 3/4 ounce of our fresh lime juice. Now what's interesting is, you notice we didn't muddle too aggressively, but we're shaking this pretty good in our cocktail shaker, and the ice in this case is going to act just like a muddler. It's going to start to break up the mint, and so you'll see in the finished product that we're going to have little mint bits right in the cocktail. The mint in this case acts as our aromatic garnish. You want to maintain that freshness, and just a little top off at the end, about 1 ounce of chilled champagne, and you have a beautifully sparkling cocktail. It's quite refreshing. Cheers.
Cheers.
A great sparkling mojito, the Old Cuban.